Hello and welcome to Frontline, where we discuss issues that border particularly on the issues of Nigeria as a nation. Today we'll be discussing on the youth engagement in policy change and advocacy for women's voices to be heard. I am your host, Austyn Ochu Jr. And I will be having today as guest comrade Khadijah Tijani. She's a youth development advocate, women's empowerment advocate. Also, she's a policy analyst and a Girls Get Equal champion. Also, I hear she's an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
Okay, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day. I hope you've been having a fine week.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Khadijah is a human rights activist and a girls development activist as well. I hear
Yes,
that you are a Girls Get Equal champion.
Yes, I am.
Okay. At such a young age, we would like to know, in this kind of demographic that we have, what was it that piqued your interest in joining the struggle, the activist struggle?
Okay. Well, I'll say growing up, I had a very tough home. I grew up in a home where the ladies are not given opportunities to speak,
Oh, wow.
to work,
Okay.
to do anything.
Yeah.
Even my mom was not, she married at the age of 18
Yeah.
and she wasn't allowed to finish her secondary education.
Yeah.
So all these struggles and seeing other girls around with limited education is what pushed me to wanting to advocate for girls.
Yeah.
Personally, because even growing up, we the girls in our house, my father has 6 girls.
Wow.
We are not able to talk, to say what we want. We just keep quiet and let him do his thing. Down to the food we are going to eat, he says it. My mom is not allowed to do anything. So coming out and seeing that there's an opportunity for me to be able to advocate for other people, to advocate for myself through these platforms is actually what inspired me, and so far I don't regret my decision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a tough struggle to be a part of. How has it been? Like, how has I heard that you have engaged in grassroots, state, and also in the federal levels on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
So, how has it been? What would you say are the limitations in the struggle for policy change?
Well, although it has been okay, but the challenges has been, even if we state out what we want, we speak up, because nowadays you do a lot of speaking up. Sometimes there are delays in getting responses.
Okay.
Sometimes we tell NGOs, we tell the government what we want, and then they sit on it, and then we have to advocate for it, advocate, keep talking before they decide to do something.
Yeah.
I know they say delay is not denial, but sometimes we need to see you putting in what we want fast.
Yeah.
I know the youth has a very huge hand in pushing forward for the Not Too Young to Run campaign.
Yeah.
They had to reduce the age limits for contesting for elections, but still, in the last election that happened 2023, a lot of youths, less than 6% of youths are elected in the government office, and this although youth came out for the election, but what they wanted, they don't trust the results. They were not carried along fully.
Okay.
And these are like challenges, because you state out what you want. We youth do go as far as trying to implement some of these things by themselves, but without the backing up of government, most of these things just stop halfway. We don't end up getting the main results that we are pushing towards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also on the movement of girls' rights and inclusion in governance, how far have the Girls Get Equal, and you as a person, how far has it gone, and do you think that there has been significant impact?
I would say yes, they have been.
Okay.
Because Girls Get Equal is in, I think, around 20 states in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
And then they have been able to empower a lot of girls. They have been able to train a lot of girls to speak up, to know where they are, to know that they don't have any limitation, that being a girl is not a sickness. It's, you have the power and the strength to do anything you want to do.
Okay.
There have been trainings, there have been programs, events down to the grassroots levels that have helped girls know that there is space for them in power.
Okay.
And then even among them, we see that there are women that are now doing well. There are women working, and then there are men now that are advocating for these women.
Wow.
And these are what we want.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I know earlier on you mentioned that there were challenges for you as a lady, moving out of your shell from home and everything. So how were you able to break through that barrier to be able to be a voice for women in Nigeria in general?
Although I have the passion,
Yes.
it's not easy to speak up most of the times. Sometimes you want to speak up and then you are like, what if I'm not heard? What if I'm just speaking up and then I'm looked down on?
Yes.
And you would want to keep quiet. But since there is the passion, I try most of the times to try and speak. I know in my home, it's not like I've been able to break that barrier completely, but I know I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
I can say, no, this is what I want, and that is what's going to happen. I don't let them press me down and be like, no, you will do this instead of what you want. And then I try as much as possible to, in my school, I have been able to, I think, join a lot of girls have come up to me and be like, I like what you're doing. How is it done? What are you doing? Which platform are you using? And 3, 4, 5 people have been able to join this movement, and it's good seeing that a lot of girls are interested in speaking up.
Yes.
Are interested in being power, are interested in empowering other women. It's actually a very good improvement to me.
Let's run that again. Then the final part.
Okay, seeing that a lot of girls have been able to join me in this movement, they are ready to speak up, they are ready to show that they have power, that they can do,
Yes.
they can say, and then they can be present in whatever they want. It have been a very good improvement.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful. That's powerful. And so, what would you say is one of the most fulfilling moments for you as an advocate for inclusion?
I would say, normally, seeing that I've been able to empower some girls like me
Yes.
to join the movement. But
Okay.
I want to take it back to myself.
Yes.
Seeing that I can speak up and I will be heard.
Yes.
Seeing that I can come to a place and say, this is what I want, and that's what is going to happen. Seeing that sometimes we go to secondary schools, I have been a mentor. Seeing that I'm a mentor to little youth coming up is it's fulfilling. Those are the moments I look back on and be like, why didn't I just start this earlier on? Why am I not like these girls that I'm trying to bring up? And then I would have gone far. Yes,
you two were looking
exactly.
up to.
And the moment is, thinking back on it, I'll be like, I don't want to stop. I want to continue in this path.
Yes.
I want to improve. I want to empower a lot of people, and I want to see Nigeria as a better place.
Okay. Now, speaking on being a mentor, do you yourself have some sort of mentors that you look up to in the movement?
I have a mentor in Nigeria, Aisha Yusufu. She's
Okay.
an advocate, and she's a Muslim, and she's a woman. And normally, in the north, being a Muslim, being a woman that would talk
Yes.
is very difficult. You don't see Muslims around advocating and speaking up.
Yeah.
So seeing her, she's a very big mentor for me. And then joining the Girls Get Equal movement, she doesn't know it yet, but Adoka,
Okay.
she's the chairperson of Democracy Convening,
Yes.
and she's also a Girls Get Equal member.
Yes.
Joining the movement, seeing her do her things, seeing her go places, even at the international level,
Yes.
has been pushing me, because I want to be at the international level. I want to be able to speak, and then it will be implemented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I think in I want to know in this democracy, what exactly, this will be your last words, of course.
Okay, no problem.
So, what are the things that you hope that policymakers will be able to put in place to be able to include young people? Then, also, your last message to our guests, especially young women, Muslims, or those in the north from your demography. What is your message to them concerning youth involvement in some of these issues?
What I want to say is to policymakers,
Yes.
don't treat us, the youths, like you are doing us a favor.
Yes.
Including us, youth inclusion is a necessity, it's our right. Be more inclusive, and not just about including us, because I know you, when we talk, you say yes, now youth pushed for the Not Too Young campaign and then it was implemented, but then we want to be able to vote, we want to be in town hall meetings, we want to be stakeholders, we want to have a say in elections. We want to see how it's happening, we want to be voted in. We don't want godfatherism to be what would scare us, or the cost of being part of elections. And then to youth and women, especially in the north, I would say don't wait, speak up, don't wait for the government. You can start by your social media, sometimes tweet, see things you don't like, you tweet on that, join social society and civil society, join movements. Even in the schools, just try and talk. You see something, you see injustice somewhere, you talk. Don't wait, don't sit back, don't feel like you are being held. I know it might not be easy, there might be challenges, there might be setback, but once you keep pushing, you get used to it, and then you'll be able to do most of these things without feeling like you don't have the power.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
So this is our guest, Khadijah Tijani, with a message to everyone out there. For policymakers, please be more inclusive of young people, and to young people, women, and especially those in the north, you should not relent in speaking up for yourself and fighting for your own rights. It's not always about empowerment. Empowerment sometimes is not about bags of rice.
Exactly, it's not.
It's not about
sewing
stipends.
machines.
It's not about sewing machines. Sometimes you have to speak up. What you need, they would not know until you bring it to the table.
To them, yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much for staying with us on this fine episode. I thank our guests for this fine trashing of these issues. We hope that we'll see you again in our studio.
Thank you very much.
Alright. So thank you. In case you haven't, please make sure to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment on the comment section. Thank you so much. It's me again, Austyn Ochu Jr. Till next time.